reiterate some of the things that Katrina talked about. 16 skaters on the ice, 4 teams. Each skater will skate about a lap and a half, 2 laps.
Ready.
And then leave the race with a push-off. Look for the Koreans to take an early lead here and try and hold off what will be a challenge from the Canadians. Korea, the United States, Canada, and Germany.
The Canadians have something to prove. At the last World Cup in Chicoutimi, they were disqualified, and so they would love to give this hometown crowd a strong performance. It looks like mass confusion out on the ice, but every skater has a duty. And as you see the skater come out for the push-off, they have to monitor where their teammate is. The skater in front moves to the outside, the one in second moves next to them, and so that there isn't a real crash when you do the push-off. But the push-off is very important. You are giving your speed to that other skater, and then you monitor them. If a skater falls, you can tag that skater. As you mentioned, Steve, skaters usually do a lap and a half, 2 laps. It's up to each team to decide what they want to do, how many laps they want to skate at a time.
And right now, at this point in the men's 5,000-meter relay final, it is Korea and the United States skating 1-2. Canada in 3rd position, and the Germans currently in 4th. What the Canadians cannot afford to do is lose touch with the Koreans currently in front. And there's a move that has put the Canadians into 2nd place ahead of the U.S.
The Koreans are the team to beat, but the Canadians always are very strong in the relay. The Americans lacking the depth, especially without Apollo Anton Ono, who has decided to take the year off and see where he wants to be in this sport. The Koreans and the Canadians are putting a bit of gap over the Americans and the Germans.
Apollo Anton Ono did some inline skating this summer. He's back on skates now. He is looking perhaps at the World Championships in Milan. It'll be nice to have Apollo Anton Ono back in action. The U.S. certainly missing him. Right now in this relay final for the men, it's the Koreans in front, followed by the Canadians, then the Americans, and the Germans in 4th place.
Hyun-Soo Ahn just passing off to his teammate, and we haven't seen a lot of Ahn. He is one of the best skaters, if not the best skater in the entire world. The ISU, the International Skating Union, making a new rule that at World Cup, skaters can only skate 2 distances. So that is really restricting some skaters like Ahn, who is strong in every distance. They have to choose which distances they want to do at each World Cup.
Right now it's Francois-Louis Tremblay about to take himself out of the race with a push-off. It's still the Koreans in front, followed by Canada, then the United States, and Germany.
Olivier JEAN looking very comfortable and looking like he's enjoying himself. He must be with a gold medal finish here in Montreal, but every time we see him, he is smiling and looking like he's having fun, and a wonderful move by the Canadians there to put themselves in the lead.
And that was Ahn who just got past. But don't count the Koreans out yet. There's a lot of racing to go as Monette is on the ice for the Canadians, and they have the lead. Here's a critical push-off. Still the Canadians staying in front, followed by the Koreans, then the Americans. 22 laps to go.
With that many laps to go, but we still see the speed increasing. It's a 45-lap race, but again, 4 skaters per team. Francois-Louis Tremblay passing off to Olivier JEAN, who again looks comfortable, but the Koreans right behind them, and a real battle going on now. The Koreans overtaking Olivier JEAN.
And just like that, the lead changes, and it changes again. This time, the Canadians slide in front ahead of the Koreans. 19 laps to go. This is turning into a very entertaining race. Charles Hamlin pushing off here with 18 laps to go.
Well, there we see the importance of the push-off. You want to give all of your strength and your speed to the next skater. With each push-off changing the lead, the Canadians know how strong the Koreans can be, and they just want to keep that lead. The speed is increasing at every lap, only 16 laps to go.
That is Francois-Louis Tremblay on the ice for Canada right now. And where you make that push-off is oftentimes critical. If you make it in the middle of traffic in that neutral zone, it can create a lot of havoc.
Jean skating very well, and the Koreans right behind the Canadians. Very tough competition here in this final.
Less than 13 laps to go in this men's relay final. Stay with us. What should be an exciting finish ahead. Welcome back to Montreal and our World Cup coverage. This is the final of the men's 5,000-meter relay. And from the start, this has been a battle between the Canadians currently in front and the Koreans sitting in second place. Right now, the U.S. are in third and the Germans in fourth.
François-Louis Tremblay passing off to Olivier JEAN, but the Koreans are right there with him. It is a two-team race right now, and every push-off is critical. Only 8 laps to go in this 45-lap men's relay final.
Canadians with a bit of a lead, and this might be the widest margin they've had so far, but never, I repeat, never count out the Koreans. They can close that gap so quickly, and they've done that here. A stumble by Monette, and that may cost the Canadians.
That was a poor push-off, and then Monette just couldn't get his balance, and the Koreans taking advantage of that. A little bit of a gap over the Canadians. Can the Canadians make it up in these last few laps?
The slightest mistake at this speed, at this level, can be very, very costly. The Koreans in front, less than 4 laps to go.
You hear the gun, that means there's only going to be one more exchange from here. Olivier JEAN trying to catch up on the Koreans, narrowing the gap a little bit, only 2 laps to go.
You've got to think that the Canadians are hoping for some kind of major mistake on the part of the Koreans, and it won't happen from Hyun-Soo on. He is on for the last lap for the Koreans. He checks over his right shoulder, makes that turn to the lines. The Koreans have won it. They take the gold. Canada is second in this one. This was a very good, a very competitive men's relay final. The Canadians this year, 1 gold, 1 silver. They were DQ'd in Saguenay, so they had something to prove here in Montreal. And Katrina, I think they'll take this result.
It was a strong performance by the Canadians, back and forth with the strong Korean team. Every exchange is so important, and that is where the Canadians struggled a little bit near the end of the race. Monette not able to take that speed, struggled and slipped, and the Koreans took advantage of that. Olivier JEAN skating very well just before the last exchange, but the Koreans are always strong. They're fast, they're fit. Charles Hamelin putting in a good performance, but the Koreans just showing their strength.